The world feeds you a lie about respect. It tells you to demand it, to loudly declare your worth, to puff out your chest, and to aggressively assert your dominance in every room. It promotes the fantasy that if you just ask for it, people will grant it. But you and I know that demanded respect is cheap, hollow, and temporary. It is a facade, a quick obedience born of momentary fear or social obligation. The moment that fear fades or that social pressure lifts, their respect vanishes, and you're left scrambling to reassert yourself. True respect? The kind that makes people lean in when you speak, seek your counsel, and naturally defer to your judgment? That kind of respect is never demanded. It is earned. It is commanded. It's a natural gravitational pull that you cultivate within your very psychology. Today, we are diving deep into the mind of Friedrich Nietzsche, a philosopher who understood the raw, unvarnished truth about human dynamics. He knew that the most respected individuals are not the loudest, but the ones who possess an unshakable inner architecture. We are going to unlock the first 3 of 8 Nietzschean strategies that will stop you from chasing approval and start making people respect you without you ever having to demand it. They will simply feel it and obey it. If you're ready to build that unshakable foundation of influence, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's begin. Nietzsche's famous declaration, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," is not a simple gym mantra. It is a philosophical cornerstone of profound self-respect and earned authority. Most people shrink from pain. They spend their lives constructing elaborate defenses against failure, fear, rejection, and humiliation. And because they do, they remain soft, fragile, and ultimately predictable. The first lesson in commanding respect is to fundamentally change your relationship with suffering. Think about who you truly respect. Is it the individual who has coasted through life, shielded from hardship? Or is it the individual who has faced betrayal, crushing defeat, financial ruin, or profound loss, yet stands before you not broken, but visibly refined? Nietzsche taught that our deepest scars are not signs of weakness, but maps of our resilience. Every setback is a choice point. Become a victim, paralyzed by the loss, or become a forger, using the chaotic energy of that pain to temper your will. This is the essence of anti-fragility, the ability to improve because of trauma, not just survive it. When you embody this, people sense the steel forged in the fire. They perceive a deep internal competence that goes beyond technical skill. They see someone who is not easily swayed, not easily shocked, and critically, not easily broken. That aura of having stared into the abyss and emerged stronger commands a profound, unspoken reverence. Practical application. Stop hiding your past struggles. Instead, consciously use them as narrative fuel. Next time you face a challenge, don't just recover. Analyze the mechanism of the failure. What did it teach you about human nature, your own limits, or strategy? Internalize that lesson. When you speak about past setbacks, share the lesson learned and the unbreakable strength gained, not just the woe. This is how you transform personal history into unassailable authority. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy is the concept of the will to power. He argued this is the fundamental, primal impulse in all living things to grow, expand, overcome resistance, and assert one's life force. You crave to become more. The problem is, most people either deny this drive, feeling guilty for their ambition, or they express it in diluted, indirect ways, through superficial status symbols, loud boasting, or constantly seeking approval from others. They talk about power, but their actions betray their insecurity. The individual who truly commands respect doesn't need to say they are ambitious or demand recognition for their work. Their will to power is evident in their actions, their relentless pursuit of mastery, their consistent dedication to skill building, and their quiet, focused efforts to tangibly impact their environment. They are constantly striving, building, and evolving. Think of a really successful entrepreneur or a master musician. They don't have to convince you of their worth. Their quantifiable, tangible output speaks for itself. Their work is a visible declaration of intent and competence. People respect someone who is clearly on a path of relentless ascension, someone who is actively making themselves more. Practical application. Immediately stop talking about future goals to those who are not your strategic partners. Your ambition is your fuel. Don't let others dilute it with opinions. Instead, identify one area where you can noticeably improve your skills or competence this week. Devote focused, consistent energy to it. Let your increasing competence and demonstrable progress, the results, be your loudest, most respected declaration. Society wants you compliant. It offers you pre-packaged values designed to create a predictable populace, the herd. Values like be nice at all costs, don't rock the boat, and seek social harmony often promote mediocrity and make you easily exploitable. The truly powerful individual undertakes a revaluation of all values. They don't blindly accept society's ethical framework, especially when it encourages weakness. Instead, they scrutinize these values and, if necessary, forge their own sovereign code. This is not about being immoral. It's about being autonomous. People who constantly seek external validation, who change their opinions to fit the room, or who are paralyzed by the fear of judgment, radiate a profound lack of self-respect. Their values are conditional and borrowed. The person who commands respect operates from an internal compass. They have a clear, unwavering understanding of their own core principles and strategic objectives. They are not easily swayed by trends, criticism, or the siren song of popularity. They stand firm in their convictions even when unpopular. And that independence, that rock-solid certainty in self, is the magnet for genuine respect. Practical application. Analyze the 3 societal rules you currently follow out of habit or social pressure. Do they truly serve your highest self and your strategic goals, or are they relics of herd morality? Consciously decide to reevaluate them. Prioritize your own well-thought-out judgment over external expectations, even if it causes minor social friction. This act of internal sovereignty is the key to psychological authority.
That brings us to our next fundamental strategy, mastering the gray zones. Nietzsche understood that the majority of people, what he termed the herd, are perpetually trapped in a desperate search for simplicity. They want to operate solely on a binary moral compass, quick to label everything as good or bad, right or wrong. They cling to a moral rigidity that provides them with comfort, but renders them ineffective, predictable, and easily stalled by difficult ethical trade-offs. They believe being nice or correct is always the highest virtue, even when that choice enables destructive behavior or leads to far worse consequences down the line. The individual who commands genuine, deep respect is not paralyzed by these simplistic absolutes. They understand that the world where effective action is taken is a complex, shifting landscape of gray. This is not about becoming amoral. It is about becoming profoundly pragmatic and outcome-oriented. It means recognizing that true leadership requires making the harsh, unpopular, or counterintuitive decision that serves the long-term, tangible results, rather than the choice that merely looks virtuous or avoids immediate conflict. You see the chessboard 3 moves ahead, while others are still arguing about the color of the pieces. This mastery of the gray zone is a demonstration of high-level psychological and intellectual competence. Most people buckle when faced with ambiguity, defaulting to the easiest or safest moral position. But when you demonstrate the capacity to analyze the nuanced consequences, to make the tough calls that others flee from, and to prioritize demonstrable results over fragile appearances, you stop being a simple follower of rules and become a powerful generator of superior results. People respect you because you are an agent of effectiveness, and that capacity commands a deep, professional deference. Practical application. Find a current dilemma where you're caught between what feels good, example, avoiding confrontation, and what is strategically necessary for a better future outcome. Practice stepping entirely outside the simple binary of good versus bad. Ask, what are the long-term, concrete consequences of each action, and am I willing to take the difficult path for the best result, regardless of initial perception? Acting on this nuanced analysis is how you build the reputation of a truly respected decision-maker. Now, while mastery of the gray zone gives you the competence to act, our next strategy gives you the psychological leverage to keep others permanently engaged, cultivating strategic unpredictability or mastering the mask of Dionysus. Nietzsche taught that the mistake most people make is presenting only a flat, hyper-rational, fully predictable mask of flawless order. They are an open book. Their reactions, opinions, and limitations are entirely known. And while predictability can be comfortable for others, it is the antithesis of deep respect, intrigue, and awe. People don't deeply respect what they fully understand and can easily anticipate. The powerful individual hints at a deeper, unpredictable vitality beneath their surface order. They understand that power is amplified by mystery. They cultivate a strategic opacity, using layers of personality that keep others perpetually curious and slightly off balance. They possess a controlled, intentional variance. They might be fiercely analytical and stoic one moment, then surprisingly playful, intuitive, or even aggressive the next. This intentional variance is the key to psychological influence. When people can't fully categorize you, when they sense a depth and complexity that defies simple labels, they are forced to allocate greater mental energy to trying to understand and anticipate your next move. This continuous mental investment, this effort to decode you, translates directly into a profound form of respect and attention. You become an enigma. An enigma is powerful precisely because it cannot be easily dismissed or controlled. This means your communication and decisive actions carry a disproportionate weight. When the herd knows exactly what you'll do, they stop listening. When they sense the possibility of something unexpected, they remain perpetually engaged and deferential. Master the rhythm of revealing and concealing. Practical application. Identify 2 areas where your reactions are utterly predictable: your typical response to a certain critique or your habit of over-explaining. This week, choose one scenario where you would typically offer a full, expected reaction, and instead offer only a partial truth, a strategically vague answer, a cryptic statement, or an unexpected delay in your response. This small act of deliberate unpredictability will create necessary friction and compel others to afford you greater mental space and attention. Finally, we arrive at the most challenging and ultimate test of self-respect: becoming your own absolute authority, the death of God. Nietzsche's radical pronouncement, "God is dead," was a devastating observation on the philosophical collapse of absolute external authorities. For the individual seeking ultimate power and self-respect, this collapse presents the ultimate mandate. You must become your own ultimate source of truth and validation. Most people in the modern world are terrified of this void. They fill it with new forms of validation: their boss's approval, their social media followers' likes, their political group's affirmation. Their self-worth is a fragile rope tethered to external, fluctuating opinions, making them easily manipulated and psychologically fragile. If their external gods disapprove, their world collapses. The individual who commands true respect has mastered this internal void. They are anchored within themselves. Their confidence is not conditional upon applause or agreement. Their decisions stem from their own rigorous analysis, their forged code, and their long-term strategic alignment, not from what is currently popular or what will garner immediate praise. They possess an unshakable inner conviction that is the envy of the masses. When people sense that you are not beholden to external opinions, that your self-worth and purpose are generated from within, they instantly recognize a higher, autonomous form of strength. You become the immovable object in a sea of shifting trends and volatile public opinion. This profound psychological self-sovereignty is what compels others to naturally grant you their respect, without you ever having to ask. You are, in effect, respected because you have completed the most difficult journey, validating yourself. Practical application. Identify one significant decision you've been delaying or one core belief you've been softening because of external pressure: a family member, a colleague, or media. Practice separating your self-worth from this external judgment. For the next week, act or speak solely because you believe it is the correct strategic move, without seeking or fearing any external validation. This mental and behavioral exercise is the process of shedding dependence and solidifying your internal authority, the bedrock of all true respect.
We have built the psychological groundwork. You are forged by pain, guided by your own code, and anchored by self-authority. Now, we turn outward. The next strategy is how you relate to the world around you, not by fighting it,
but by deeply understanding its mechanics. Master the herd through psychological echo. A true master doesn't just dismiss the herd or the masses. They understand its psychology, its unspoken needs, its collective anxieties, and its predictable patterns. They know that genuine influence is often about guiding, not dictating. Most people try to dominate through brute force, demanding compliance. But the truly respected leader achieves more through subtle, profound insight. This requires becoming an astute observer. What are the collective anxieties of the room, the group, or the market? What are their hidden, unarticulated desires? This is the application of deep human psychology. You look past what people say they want and address what they actually need. You gain power not by challenging the group's narrative head-on, but by showing that you grasp the internal logic, even the illogical fear that drives it. The most potent form of respect is earned when you reflect back to the group its deepest needs and concerns, but framed in a way that aligns with your strategic objectives. When you speak directly to the unspoken concerns of a group, when you articulate a solution to a problem they couldn't even clearly define, you instantly transcend the common dynamic. You elevate yourself above the fray. You become the seer, the sage, the one who truly gets it. People don't demand respect from you. They offer it because you have proven you understand them at a fundamental level they themselves cannot articulate. This intellectual superiority, combined with perceived empathy, is an unstoppable combination. Practical application. In your next group interaction, be it a family meeting, a business pitch, or a strategy session, take the first few minutes to observe silently. Don't speak. Identify two underlying anxieties or unspoken tensions that are not on the agenda. Then, when you contribute, start by gently acknowledging one of those unspoken elements. Watch how the weight of your words immediately increases. You've established yourself as the person who truly sees the reality of the situation, not just the surface noise. Finally, we arrive at the culmination of the Nietzschean journey and the absolute end goal of self-command, loving your fate, or amor fati. This is the ultimate, non-negotiable strategy for achieving unshakable confidence and therefore unassailable respect. Amor fati means embracing everything that has happened in your life, good and bad, success and failure, fortune and loss, not just as tolerable, but as necessary and desirable for you to become the specific powerful person you are right now. Most people live tethered to regret, shame, and a constant futile wish that things had been different. They project an aura of internal friction, a never-ending battle with their own past. This constant internal war diminishes their presence and makes them seem weak and tentative. The individual who commands the highest caliber of respect has internalized amor fati. They radiate an unconditional self-acceptance. They carry themselves with the quiet, profound dignity of someone who knows who they are and who knows that every single experience has contributed to their singular strength. There is no bitterness, no hidden shame, and absolutely no desperate need to prove their worth. They are, in a word, whole. This is the peak of psychological mastery, when you stand before the world as someone who has fully embraced their entire difficult journey, the scars, the failures, the victories, you project an immense, unshakable confidence. That inner peace and self-acceptance is the ultimate form of authority. It communicates without a single word that you are complete, you are sovereign, and you are accountable only to yourself. This is the aura that makes people respect you so deeply they would never dare challenge your place or your authority. Practical application. Think about one past failure, regret, or embarrassing moment that still causes you internal friction. Consciously and repeatedly reframe it not as a mistake, but as a crucial, vital, and indispensable component that led directly to a current strength, insight, or opportunity. Write this reframed narrative down. Practice internalizing this love of fate until the emotion of regret is replaced by a quiet sense of gratitude for the journey. This final alchemy turns mere confidence into unassailable presence. We have reached the end of this journey. Commanding respect is not about performing a role or shouting a demand. It is about cultivating a powerful, consistent vibration. It is the inevitable result of having forged an unshakable psychological architecture based on these Nietzschean truths. The world only truly respects what it cannot easily control, manipulate, or predict. By mastering your pain, forging your code, operating in the gray zones, achieving self-sovereignty, understanding the herd, and finally, loving your fate, you become a force of nature. You stop demanding respect. You simply command it.
If you're ready to stop demanding respect and start commanding it through internal sovereignty, I need you to do 3 things right now. Drop a comment. Let me know which of these 8 Nietzschean strategies resonated with you the most. Type, "I am the architect of my own respect." Your commitment makes the lesson real. If this deep dive shifted your perspective on power and influence, hit that like button. And to ensure you never miss the next level of psychological mastery, click follow right now. Subscribe for more. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. In our next video, we're going to explore the 3 lies society tells you about success and how to unlearn them. Don't let this be just another video you watched. Let it be the moment you committed to becoming undeniable. I'll see you in the next analysis.